You know, I just watched the videos about the iPhone late last night and this morning, and I got some thoughts about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. This is DJ Wolf Live. Alright guys, this is your boy DJ Wolf here. I just heard about the release of the new iPhones. There's going to be 3 new iPhones, and they're going to be set at different prices. I think the cheapest one's going to be about just under $800, and the most expensive is going to be about, you don't even want to know, at least about close to $1,100, maybe $1,200. Someone told me about, it's about close to $1,200. I'm on the fence about it right now. I currently have an iPhone 7 Plus, which is what I'm broadcasting on right now. It's a great phone. And I think right now, Apple is going the way route of the bigger phones. They want you to get the bigger phone, but the bigger phone has a record 512 gigs. And I'm like, oh my God. I thought 264 was a lot. 512 is a producer's dream. You know, especially someone who does a lot of stuff like videos and podcasting on his phone. That's a big deal. I love that. For a number of reasons. It gives me the option to be able to be more creative than ever before. I could expand my stuff to do other things as well. It's just so much I can do with it now. But there's supposed to be features with the cameras now that they've upgraded on. But I just can't see myself paying that kind of money right now. I'm happy with the device I got. The device I got is probably one of the best phones I've ever owned. The 6 Plus is still a popular phone. It's actually just the best made phone of the iPhones for the price, especially now. 6 Plus and 7. I don't know if I would move up to an 8 or not. I'm not sure about that yet. The only reason I would move up to the 8 is because of the fact they have wireless charging on. You know, anything after 7 is wireless charging on the phones is out now. The 8 only is 10 Plus. But they're going to come up with 3 phones. I know there's one going to be called the 10P, and there's going to be another one called the 10. I think the 10S is the other one. I know it's going to be called the 10R, which I think is going to be the cheaper one, but I'm not 100% on that. You know. But in any case, there's 3 phone styles, 3 new phones, and they are very different prices. But there are some new features on there. And here's my thing. If you have a 6 or a 7, jumping to a 10 or 10S or 10 Plus, whatever, I think it may be a little bit more advantageous for you if you're looking for extra features. That's just my take, because and that would be the only reason I would jump to something like that if I really wanted it. I jumped to a 10, to tell you the truth, but I want the bigger phone. I don't know if I want to compromise to a 10 just because it's a new phone, unless I can get a bigger phone. That's just me. And I may do it, I may not do it. I'm really on the fence about it right now, because right now I'm happy with the phone that I got. I heard there's not a whole lot of difference between the 7 and 8 anyway. There's a couple of things that are different from the 8 than it is the 7. But I don't want to jump from the 7 to the 8. I'd rather just go from the 7 to the 10. Or at least the 10, for certain the 10 Plus. You know. And that's what I'm debating about right now. You know. I think matter of fact, they're taking orders tomorrow. The phone is supposed to be out in another week. I'm like, wow, that's fast. Because I didn't really hear about the announcement until the official date of the announcement until a couple of days ago. I was like, wow. don't know. I thought about even switching back to a Samsung, but I was like, I thought about it. I had issues on Samsung and things about Samsung that I do not like. Mainly the battery life is terrible. You always have to keep switching tasks to clear it out so you have more memory, even though you have plenty of memory in there. iPhone, I have to do all of that, and I don't get a lot of the AdWords spyware on my phone. I don't get all that mess on there, and that's why I think I'm going to have to stick with what I got. It's probably best that I do, because to be honest, it syncs up with my OS ecology. Basically, everything I do on my phone, or a lot of stuff I do on my phone, like pictures and stuff like that, I can get access to it on my other devices, my other Apple devices, including my MacBook Pro. So, and that's one of the things why I don't want to switch. And it works flawlessly. Email I get on here, I get it on my other Apple devices. So right now, I'm being honest with you, I'm good. The only thing I actually was going to do one time was to actually go ahead and switch out my MacBook Pro and get a new one, because my old one was failing. It was starting to act up. And somehow or another, I went online, I looked at some videos. It took me about a couple of days. This was before I did my gig back in February. My MacBook Pro, it crashed on me. It crashed hard too. And I ended up rebuilding the entire hard drive. First time in 7 years that has ever happened. And people talk about, well, Apple products are expensive. They're not any better than Windows. En contraire, my friend, yes, the fuck they are. Come on. Oh, gee, he's barreling out here. He's trying not to even stop. I know you're not a cop. But anyhow, nevertheless, the ecosystem is way better. As far as the MacBook Pro, I can honestly say they don't crash. I've never, like I said, it only crashed at one time in 7 years. And you know what? I haven't had a problem of it since I rebuilt it back in February. Not 1 inch. And here's the kicker. I didn't even have to use a disk to restore it. Nope. It did it on its own. I had to play with a few settings, but I mean, thank God, it just works, man. And this is my opinion. I think the MacBooks, I don't know about the desktops, but the MacBook Pros are the greatest laptops I have ever owned in my entire life. That's why they cost so much. You're like, well, why you? I'm not gonna lie, I did buy a couple of laptops since, but they were not Macs. They were Windows. I probably should have bought another Mac. That's how good the Macs are. And I actually thought about buying a second Mac, to tell you the truth, but I thought about buying a desktop Mac instead of a laptop Mac. But I think my next one is going to definitely be a desktop Mac. I was telling my wife, because I drink the Kool-Aid on Apple products anyway. I have been for the last 10, 11 years. Ever since I owned my first iPhone back in 2007, which I can attest are among the greatest devices ever. And I still say that wholeheartedly. Why? Because it just worked. I know people are like, well, I don't need all the bells and whistles. Right. I didn't need all the bells and whistles myself, but when I saw that, bring them on. Bring that ass here. I'm just saying, and it works. It does everything I needed to do. I've ordered tickets on here for planes, shows, movies. Hell, I actually looked at my I bought my next car through it on via CarMax just by looking at it. I mean, it's just so much stuff that it does, and it does it so well. Now I can preach on that. Yeah, I'm an Apple fanboy, and God damn it, I'm proud of it. I have no problem saying that because I am. I take it to the hill on that. Real talk. They just work. They work flawlessly. It does. And I think it's mainly for people who want to get the phone but can't get the latest and greatest. But hell, the lower price Apple phones now you can get are as cheap as I don't know what. Matter of fact, actually, I thought about getting another phone from Consumer Cellular, but the only reason I wouldn't get that because I already have a Apple 6, which I'm thinking about trading that up along with this phone to get a new 10 Plus. I'd be willing to do it, but I think what I might do is go to Consumer Cellular and get me a 7, and then or 7 Plus, and then trading this one in and getting the new 10. But like I said, I'm in no hurry. My phone still works excellent. I haven't had any issues at the 7 Plus. I haven't had any issues at the 6. I just don't use the 6 that much because of and the 6 that I have is a prepaid has a prepaid SIM card in it. So I just need to get that restored. I need to call AT&T and get it restored. That's the only thing I have now. It was working for a while, and then I stopped using it because I wasn't doing the prepaid service anymore. Matter of fact, I hadn't been using it in a while, but I love the phone, and it only cost me $30-something a month. But I haven't done much with it. I haven't made that many calls on it. But I may upgrade to unlimited calls on it because when I got rid of my iPad, my iPad used to be on my system at one time. It used to be on my Verizon. I took it off Verizon a while back, and then I was going to push it back on there. And I said, nah, I ain't. Yeah. But nevertheless, it's my payments were cheaper by taking it off there, and so now I might add another phone. Matter of fact, the guy told me the other day I could add another phone to it. I say no, I only need one phone. I have a backup phone. The other one is a prepaid phone, which was the backup phone. I just need to restore my prepaid services on that. But it, like I said, everything works. It works. I mean, it works fine. It does everything I needed to do and then some. That's why people talk about fanboy this, fanboy that shit. The phones work. They just work, and I don't know much else to say. Samsung, I had Samsung for a number of years. Before I had Motorola. I take that back. I had Motorola, and then I had Samsung. And to me, they're good phones for what you want to do with it, and for the basic stuff you can do with it. But it just, to me, didn't hold a candle to it. I'm sorry. It just don't. They still don't, as far as I'm concerned. I think the newer Samsungs actually run iPhones and give an iPhone a run for their money. And I even thought about getting a new Samsung, but it's like, I just don't have the desire. I really don't. I really, really don't. I tried. I had the Note 2. That thing was a piece of garbage. It was. It was just too big. It was too big to really even hold. It was almost like a tablet. They could just call it a phablet. A phone and tablet. And I could get by with just using that, but but it doesn't do what I wanted to do. So in any case, that's all I gotta say about it. This is DJ Wolf. Questions or comments or whatever, please feel free to drop me a line. You can give a like, thumbs up, subscribe. Love to get all your feedback. Alright guys, this is DJ Wolf and I'm out. Oh, stop. By the way, I want to try to get some updates on the new phones. I'm going to be looking at those new phones next week, between now and next week, and I'll give you probably give you an update and probably give you a preview, exclusive preview on it myself. So stay tuned. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.